From day one to first birthday, at no other time do we change as much as we do in our first year of life. So much happens in a relatively short space of time. Blink and you might miss something. We took our camera and visited Zach once a month until his first birthday, capturing his development as he hit his first year milestones at a pace unique to Zach. As you watch, bear in mind that all babies develop at their own pace, and your child may not reach their milestones at the same time that Zach does. At 3 weeks old, Zach may not appear to be doing much more than sleeping, feeding, cuddling, and exercising his vocal cords with some crying here. However, he's actually very busy taking in the world around him. While he can't see very far, he loves studying faces held close to his. At around 6 weeks old, newborns are discharged from the care of their mother's lead maternity carer into the capable hands of New Zealand's Plunket service. At Zach's first visit with Plunket, he was weighed, measured and observed, and detailed notes were taken for his well child records. A baby this age still needs lots of help with head support, but Zach is getting stronger every day and can now lift his head for a short amount of time. Plenty of tummy time helps him strengthen core muscles and develop important physical skills. Although he may not always like it. Some babies love tummy time, but others are not so keen. Tummy time is, however, helpful for their development, so persevere even if it's just for short moments. At this age, you may notice your baby responding to colourful toys and also noises. Zach's been working on his own sounds, practicing cooing and a bit of babbling. At around 4 months, Zach's hand-eye coordination is developed enough for him to attempt picking up an appealing object. If he can't quite pick something up of his own accord, he'll at least have a go holding on to something Big Brother Ted gives him to play with. Zach's all smiles these days and loves interacting with his family. He also loves books. It's never too early to start reading to your baby. They love the sound of your voice and the colours and shapes within the pages, even if the narrative may still be a little bit beyond them. Babies all figure out how to roll at different times. At around 5 months, Zach was working on his roll from tummy to back. Tummy to back is usually first, as the hip, knee and elbow joints become stronger and more flexible. But don't panic if your baby is still perfectly happy staying still. Some babies don't roll until the 6 or 7 month mark. With holding his head up by himself mastered, Zach's working on his ability to sit up independently. This skill takes a lot of practice though, so keep the propping up pillows close by. Zach's communication skills are developing at a great rate now too, and he may even be able to recognise his own name, as well as other sounds frequently heard around the home. Zach's vision has developed to a point where he can spot tiny objects and follow something that is moving. Sometime around the 6 month mark, many babies start getting teeth. However, teething varies hugely. While some babies don't get a tooth till around their first birthday, there are others who are born with a pearly white. Zach's been working on his sitting ability, which is handy because he has a new favourite place, the high chair. Yep, 6 months marks another major milestone. Getting ready for solid food. Motor skills are where it's at now. Zach's getting quite clever with his hands, using fine motor skills to pick up objects and transfer them from one hand to the other. These skills are convenient not only for play, but also eating and drinking. In fact, Zach is putting pretty much everything in his mouth at the moment. Crawling is another milestone with a wide variation in timing. Around this age, some babies like Zach are still perfectly happy just sitting. There'll be others, though, who are working hard on the skills that later translate to crawling. Moving around on their stomachs, press-ups, and then pushing up onto hands and knees. Sooner or later, though, they all figure out how to get themselves around. Zach's 8 months old, and it's time to celebrate. It's Christmas. Although Zach doesn't really know what's going on. But he's pretty excited about the wrapping paper. Conveniently, inside the paper is a musical dump truck. Rhythm and melody are really capturing Zach's attention these days. Play is the order of the day, as Zach keeps practicing his motor skills with pouring, stacking, rolling and throwing. Zach's fine motor skills have developed to a point where he can feed himself a whole meal now, but not necessarily with his utensils. He's also been working on his leg muscles too, and he's getting stronger and sturdier in preparation for walking. A lot of babies this age love to bounce while you are holding them or when they are in a bouncer, which is great for their muscle development and pretty darn cute too. At 10 months, Zach's really found his feet. Zach's been working on moving around the room while holding on to the furniture, which gives him a whole new perspective on the world. Most babies don't take their first independent steps until they're nearer to 1, although there are always exceptions to that rule. 10-month-olds are also working on their communication skills. They may even have some words that you recognise, even if they're unique and personal versions of those words. You might hear mama or dada. Often these are used indiscriminately for both parents. Nonverbal communication is developing too. Zach's perfected his waving and his clapping. He loves new experiences, which are great for enriching his learning, but also they provide a whole heap of fun. A baby's physical and cognitive development is quite remarkable. By now, your little one is no longer a helpless infant, but getting more capable every day. You may notice that your 11-month-old can even follow simple instructions. And you've probably noticed that they can exercise their right to refuse to as well. Getting from A to B is Zach's priority these days. He's been working on putting one foot in front of another, with a helping hand, of course. And Zach's other new skill? Spinning. Baby-proofing is the order of the day, now that no corner or shelf within Zach's reach is safe. This puts, well, a whole new spin on things. All the cliches were right. Before you know it, you're planning baby's first birthday party. It's time to gather the family and celebrate the end of an eventful year. Around 12 months, baby typically takes his first independent steps, and then the games really begin. A trolley makes a great first birthday gift, as they can help develop walking skills, as well as provide a method for carting around all the treasure a 1-year-old loves to collect throughout the day. While babies hit their first-year milestones at different times, right about now, your 1-year-old will no doubt be quite proficient at ripping off wrapping paper and eating fistfuls of cake, in perfect timing for a very happy birthday. Remember, if you have any concerns about your child's development, chat to your GP or Plunkett nurse.